Stadium in the incredible principality of Monaco on the Mediterranean Sea. You see the ring for the scheduled 10-round non-title bout between two former champions, three-time titleist Wilfred Benitez and former junior middleweight champion Davey Moore, meeting for the first time. Hello again, I'm Chris Schenkel, awestruck, coming back to the Shangri-La on the Mediterranean Sea. Looking forward to this important middleweight fight. And believe me, it has a lot of importance because having worn the championship belt, both fighters, I've lost it, and now they don't have those perks. Mainly I'm talking about money. Benitez in particular, not too long ago, had three over $1 million per fight. Tonight, a little over $100,000 for performing here in Monaco. There's a preliminary fight going on, and down the way, we will have the 10-round non-title fight. Wilfred Benitez, to me, is everything boxing can be. He is the master of all the skills, offensively and defensively. And to further punctuate that fact, let's go back and look at some of the Benitez history. Watch. In 1976, at the tender age of 17, Wilfred outpointed the legendary veteran Antonio Cervantes to win the WBA Junior Welterweight Championship and become the youngest world champion in boxing history. 3 years later, he moved up to welterweight and beat then-champion Carlos Palomino for the WBC crown in a masterful exhibition of his extraordinary boxing ability before a frenzied crowd of hometown supporters in San Juan. Then in 1979, the dramatic face-to-face confrontation with Sugar Ray Leonard, in which the challenger dominated Benitez throughout the fight. And finally, here in the closing seconds of the final round, the referee ended Wilfred's reign and his unbeaten record. Benitez moved up another weight division and made boxing history again when he destroyed Morris Hope to win the WBC junior middleweight title and become the youngest of the 5 men who had won 3 world titles in different divisions. In his second title defense against Roberto Duran, Wilfred appeared at his best, dominating Duran with his superior boxing technique to win a 15-round decision. But he has been unimpressive since then, losing his title to Thomas Hearns in December of 1982, offering little opposition to Hearns' power and speed in the process as he suffered his second defeat. And then last year, he tried to move up to middleweight, but he put up virtually no resistance to the aggressive Mustafa Hamsho and gave perhaps the worst performance of his career. Benitez knows that Davey Moore is also aggressive, so we asked him if that style will present a problem for him in this fight.
I think that I'm the best around, the best boxer around. I'm the best, no problem. Against Davey Moore, I will handle it as the way I used to handle all my life, other boxers. And all gonna be in my way. I'm not gonna have no problem. I don't care the kind of boxer he is. The most important to me is the discipline, and I have it. And for this fight, I have trained very hard.
And now a live shot. Warming up is Davey Moore. His 15th professional fight. Benitez has had 50. Quite a contrast. But you'll see that Davey's Moore reign as a champion was exciting. Here it is. Davey Moore had only 8 professional fights under his belt when he traveled to Tokyo to challenge Tadashi Mahara. But neither his inexperience nor the unfriendly crowd proved a problem, as he scored a sensational 6th-round TKO to win the WBA Junior Middleweight Championship of the world. He defended that title successfully 3 times, with the last one against journeyman Gary Guyton, whom Moore stopped on a 4th-round technical knockout. But in his 4th defense of his title against Roberto Duran, Moore lost his title and his unbeaten record. His eye closed after a thumbing in the 1st round, and he took a terrible beating, fighting back on heart alone until the fight was stopped in round 8. Today he faces Wilfred Benitez. We asked Davey why he took such a tough opponent so soon in his comeback.
Oh, well, my whole career has been difficult. I only had 15 fights, and I won the championship my 9th fight, so all my fights have been difficult fights. I mean, they supposed to have been difficult, but I made them easy. So I want to make this one easy, and Benitez is a real stepping stone fight for me. I need that fight, so that's why.
Are you ready?
Ready. I'm ready like Freddie.
And here live, the ring again, Louis II Stadium in Monaco. Both middleweights have to impress. They also need to win to get back in the title picture. Two middleweights who have 4 similarities. They're both 25 years old, both former champions, both fought Roberto Duran, and both were born in the Bronx, New York. We have contrasting styles. We anticipate a fierce struggle when soon Benitez and Moore will meet. We'll return to Monaco soon. Monaco. This is a live shot of the ring where Wilfred Benitez and Davey Moore are scheduled to go 10 rounds in an important fight to both. Quite a setting here. We're just adjacent and below the Prince's Palace, home of the sovereign prince, Rainier III, home of the Grimaldi family since the 13th century. Now, before we get to the business at hand, we hope you enjoyed the 1983 World Lumberjack Championships. The 1984 version being contested this weekend in Hayward, Wisconsin. And at a later date, you'll be seeing it on ABC's Wide World of Sports. Now, Benitez, 3-time champion, weighed in at 152 around noontime today. Davey Moore at 156 pounds. And in this first meeting, we should take a look at Benitez. There he is. He has not taken his eyes off his opponent from the moment he came into the ring. And the stare lasted through 3 national anthems: Puerto Rico, United States, and Monaco. Look at him, still looking at Davey Moore. And look at Moore look back. He can smile, however. He weighed in at 156 pounds. Tail of the tape on their records: Benitez, 45 wins, 3 losses, and listen to, as he bows to the crowd here, the losses: Hearns, Duran, and Leonard. 1 draw, Harold Weston. He reversed that. 25-year-old Benitez weighing 152, 4-pound pull in the weights for Moore. The height of 5'9" is the same, and the reach is the same. They'll be boxing in a ring that is 17 feet 9 inches square. They are wearing 8-ounce gloves. And remember that Moore won his title as a 22-year-old, and Benitez won his first at 17, his second title at 20, and at age 22. As we look at the referee, we have all Italian judges. This is Gerlando Lucci of Milano, and Angelo Paletti and Mario Poloni of Genova are the 2 judges. All 3 figure in the 10-point must scoring system. 3 knockdowns in 1 round, the fight is stopped. Mandatory 8 count, standing 8 count at the referee's discretion. As we say, the 2 judges and the referees score the fight. Prince Rainier III on the right, and the Crown Prince on his left. A delightful guy. There he is, Prince Albert Alexander. This stadium named for Prince Rainier's uncle, Louis II, who inaugurated the Grand Prix of Monaco here in Monte Carlo in 1929. To be a true Monegasque, as they say here, you must love sport. So they've come out about 3,000 strong on a beautiful night, balmy night, to see Davey Moore. At home we're looking, go against Wilfred Benitez. Round 1, 10 rounds. This is the scheduled length. Each has had a fight this year. The last fight for Benitez and the shorter of the 2 red trunks on the far side. It was against Stacy McSwain, February 11th. In Detroit. He won a 10-round decision, whereas Davey Moore, now on the left in red and white, as is Benitez, was March 14th. He knocked out Monty Oswald in the 3rd round in Atlantic City. A man that likes to hook with his left hand is on the right, Davey Moore, and sometimes that punch starts a little low and lands low. He there brought it up and tried to land it on the chin of Benitez on the far side. Benitez is a man that likes to hit and not get hit. Uncanny reflexes. He's often accused of having a built-in radar. And he's hoping tonight that all channels are tuned in, because Moore is a puncher. 10 knockouts in his 13 victories. His first 3 he won by decision. Then he was either involved in a knockout, winning, or losing to Duran, highlights of which you saw a little bit earlier on ABC's Wide World of Sports. 26 knockouts for Benitez. Most of them coming in later rounds. 5 one-round knockouts in a career that started when he was 15 years old, later came to Felt Forum in New York, lying about his age to get a license, because you have to be 18 under the New York State Athletic Commission rules. Very little action here. In fact, it's dull. Usually the first round is a probing one. Benitez trying to find the range, and he walked inside, and he got tagged by Davey Moore. All right, coming around to the right, that is Wilfred Benitez. And now on the right, that is Davey Moore of the Bronx, New York. Only his 15th fight. Imagine going all the way to Japan. But imagine coming here and catching Benitez with a right hand. Benitez is in trouble. Benitez, who has been knocked down by the likes of Bruce Curry and others down the road, usually can shake it off. He said he's in the best condition. His eyes now are like the roulette wheels in Monte Carlo at the casino. Let's see if he has enough presence. He usually has a great defense, but Moore now is flailing away, probably should step back, collect his thoughts because he's missing. But he's missing because Benitez is great at feinting the punches. That was one of the most dramatic, sudden right hands we've ever seen. And it's exactly what he did to Murata, the champion from Japan, when Murata had dropped his two hands as Benitez did. 1-2, and he was down, and the fight was over. Davey Moore trying everything. We're coming up now with about 5 seconds left in this first round, so we're going to stay right here to see if we can get a rundown on the condition of Benitez, who was knocked down in that first round. Still his eyes. Look at him trying to shake the rubber out of his knees, especially in the right leg. That's his father, Gregorio Benitez, in the ring, along with his brother, Gregory, rubbing the right knee now. Only 1 minute in which to shake the cobwebs. All right, let's look here. There was a little left hook. Moore up on his toes, dancing. Benitez's dukes are down just a little below his chin, and there it is. He threw a left hand, a right cross, caught Benitez, and he was down. And you have to say a lot. Thanks to the veteran of 49 fights, he was able to avoid getting punched out and being knocked out in this very first round. Now, as we go into the second, we'll see just what type of condition Benitez is in coming into the ring. He trained at Antibes in France. San Remo was the training site for this man, Davey Moore. Moore having fought practically all over the world. For Benitez, it's the first time he's come to Europe to box. And now, round two. Needless to say, that round went to Davey Moore. Second round scheduled for 10. And Benitez still bothered by muscular reaction in his right leg. He keeps shaking it. And this is not uncommon for him. If you've seen him fight before, you know he likes to fight off the ropes. But look, he has a cramp, a Charlie horse in his right leg. Now, I don't know whether he got hit low or not. He's complaining of a low blow. There is a protective cup. The referee has the luxury of giving a standing 8 count. It's at his discretion to give the fighter, who in this case, Benitez thinking that he was hit low. It's an Italian Federation rule, and you see it in the amateur ranks, and I like it. I think it's good. But Benitez just seems to be frozen against his own corner. He fights a lot off the ropes and is clever at it. But there he caught a left hook. And he's in a position there against that ring post where if Moore keeps pinning him there, and with enough leverage, he'll really put him out of it. The second round, after about 1 minute and 15 seconds. If you just joined us, Wilfred Benitez. He's been down before, but he caught a right cross from Davey Moore and went down, taking the mandatory 8 count, then getting up and was really in trouble. But here he's now punching back, showing a little bit of offense. But there, a right hand coming over a left hand. And the referee now, no, I can't believe this. The referee, Gerlando Lucia, he has stopped the fight. Gerlando Lucia, in his opinion, against the subjective judgment, he felt that Benitez was not able to defend himself. I question that. Everybody has a right to their own opinion. But here is a man, and what a big victory for Davey Moore, who needed this to get back into the title picture. The junior middleweight championship, which has a limit of 154 pounds. Tonight, Moore was 156. Benitez, well, perhaps he's too finely trimmed at 152. He could probably make the welterweight limit at 147, but for Benitez, this was the lightest he's been since he fought Sugar Ray Leonard and lost one of his 3 titles. 1:18 of the second round here in Monaco. You're probably saying that's a long distance to go to see a minute and less than a half of a scheduled 10-round bout. The referee's name, Gerlando Lucia of Milano, Italy. So here now, as we pointed out, he was in against his own corner, the ring post, and leaning against him, Moore. There are the punches. Now, that was the right hand that probably had the referee coming in. It was a fairly solid right hand. But as you saw, Benitez knows how to slip and roll with punches. He was going away from the blow, and his knees did not buckle at all. Nevertheless, at 118 of the second round, the winner of this bout, Davey Moore, from the Bronx, New York, in his 15th fight, winning it over the great champion, Wilfred Benitez, here in the Principality of Monaco. We're going to take a break here at ringside, stunned ringside. Then we'll be back. Look at the smile on this man from the Bronx, Davey Moore. Davey, were you surprised that he stopped the bout?
No, because he's just sitting in the corner taking punishment for what? He got to come out and fight. He just can't stand in one corner and take punishment. No, I wasn't really surprised. But I was surprised that he stayed in the corner like he did Hampshire. I thought he was going to change up his fight plan, which he didn't.
Now, your first right hand, Davey, in the first round that knocked him down, that was a beautifully delivered, well-timed punch. Anybody would go down if they had caught it. Now, I question the power in that last punch, which caused the Italian referee to come in.
Well, it was an accumulation of a lot of punches. Then the right hand, the last punch, it was a hard punch. It hit him on the top of the head. It was hard.
Here, you take a look at this now. You've got him in the corner, and, of course, that's always dangerous for him.
Yeah, right. I mean, he used to be a good guy in the corner, but...
That was a pretty good uppercut.
Really?
But he's fighting back, Davey.
Right. But, well, hold up. We'll see. When he stopped fighting back, when I double up on the hook, there you go.
All right.
Hey, he's stumbling. See, you don't know where he at. His head is going bobbing, weaving.
All right.
I mean, there's a lot of depths in boxing. Let's stop it.
Okay. So the referee stopped at 118 of the second round. Now, we can only think, could this be the end of Wilfred Benitez? Weighed in light at 152. He's had a long career. You know, started when he was 15 years old.
Yeah, he's still a young man, but he's an old fighter.
This is the whole point. 10 years as a pro.
Well, I don't really know. I mean, he didn't show much opposition tonight. He tried. It was for my shape. I was in good shape.
Dave, you were. And let's take a look now. You're setting him up with that right cross. He threw a left. Now watch. Describe it.
Well, I was setting him up. I was always working my left hand. I told you, everything is behind the left hand. I told you that today. And after he threw his left, I countered over and threw my right hand. It's perfect punch. I use it all the time in sparring. He just fell for the old right hand over the left.
I think there was no animosity. Didn't he earlier today tell you that he was going to knock you out in 2 rounds?
Right. And I said, yeah, we'll see. But I know he was going to go in 2.
These kids from the South Bronx are tough, aren't they?
Oh, well, not everybody's not tough. Well, I'm pretty tough, though.
What would you like to do next? Who would you like to fight?
I want them all. I want Hearns. Give me Hearns now.
You do want him now?
He went 15 rounds with Benitez. He couldn't knock him out when he took his title. Hagler, I take him on, too. Take anybody. The vacated title, with Duran vacated when he fought Hearns. He lost the title before he even got in the ring. Anybody. I mean, I take on anybody. All comers. Don't matter.
I pointed out earlier, Davey, that when you don't have that championship belt, there's an emptiness.
Makes you hungry. I'm starving. I'm really starving. I'm hungry. I tell you, give me Hearns. I want Hearns now. Everybody, because when he beat Duran in the second round, everybody, oh, wow, he's ready for Hagler. He's ready for this guy. But that's only one fight. What about the Sutherlands and the Manchillo? What he was looking like then?
Davey, as we're live here in Monaco, I'm sure that the hitman in Detroit is listening to everything you're saying, and so is Mr. Hagler. So maybe it'll develop. We hope for your sake.
I hope so, too.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you, Davey.
Davey Moore. Okay. We'll return to Monaco, but first, let's take this break for this message. Wilfred Benitez, although here at ringside, Moore was favored to win the bout. It came as the referee from Italy stopped the bout at 118 of the second round. We wanted to talk to Wilfred Benitez. We didn't have an opportunity, but his father is here. Now, here is the knockdown in the first round. You see a little left, and as Wilfred threw out a left jab, a right cross by Davey Moore knocked him down late in the first round. He got back up, his legs were rubbery, and there is from a different angle here in Monaco, and that graphically shows you that it was a well-thrown punch, solidly landed. Now, this is the beginning of the end. You see a body punch by Moore, then an uppercut. Wilfred decided, as he has so often in the past, to stay against the ropes, using every defensive skill that he knows, and here tries to fight back, but the salvos of bombs thrown by Moore just too much in the eyes of the Italian referee, and he stepped in at 1:18 of the second round. Wilfred didn't feel like talking to us, and we understand that, because the agony of defeat in the case of a proud three-time champion is something else. But here's his proud father, Gregorio Benitez, and what's your opinion of that round and a half?
Well, my opinion is when he started fighting tonight here, he was the same guy that I have there now, training this week for this fight. I told him when he come out to throw the right and the left to Moore. He go walk to the left side and then he don't throw. He stand up in front of the Moore. I told him, I hollered him to move it up and jab him and hit him first. But I think he got too many problems, He got too many problems in his house.
Are they serious problems?
Yeah, serious problems.
Well, I thought the birth of a daughter, I thought that would just perk him up and bring Wilfred Benitez that we've known and appreciated in the past. It inspire him as he talked to us earlier today.
I think his mind he was over there.
Oh, in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, his mind he was over there. And the way he was talking today on television, the way he told the man, he said, oh, every time I go to the ring, I think about my daughter and my wife. That's not a way to talk a fighter. When he go in the ring, to think about his family, because if he think about his family, he can win.
And
he don't have his mind there.
And his father, this, of course, any defeat, the three previous ones, that's just a sour pill to swallow, isn't it? Because after all, you are his dad. But physically, pretty good shape. Mentally is a big side of boxing, as you have pointed out. A lot of people don't realize that.
I tell you, and I talked to the police, it was the same guy that I trained him for this fight. I trained him the best, and I think it was a much better the way he fought the first couple of rounds here, because I tell you, he don't have his mind right there.
Gregorio, we must leave now. We're sorry. We hope he comes back, and we hope he'll listen to you. All right. The Italian referee of Milano, we asked him to come and give us an explanation on his stopping of the bout. The Italian Boxing Federation would not allow it. But we'll be back a little bit later in the program as we're speaking to you live from Monaco. The World Bodybuilding Champion.